Lucky 13 for Andre Watson, the South African referee. This is his 13th international match. Says he took up refereeing, having been a very ordinary fly half, when he went along and screamed at the referee at a club match, and the referee said, well, why don't you see if you can't do better? And he said he's been trying to do better ever since. George Gregan, bound to be one of the most influential figures in the game. Born in Zambia, went to Australia when he was 1, Zambian mother and an Australian father. Christophe Lamaison, Tito, as they call him down in Bream. And it'll be him. Mr. Watson looks at his watch. A final check, everyone's ready, and we're off. Gippin got the first touch there, secured it for Australia. Back it goes to Stephen Larkham. Long raking kick. Dervishosa at fullback. He hoists it high again. It's a good one. Plenty of height on it. Burke's underneath it. He knocks on. France come up with it. Lièvremont. Galtier, La Maison, Ntamak. Hauled down in the midfield by Joe Roth. Penalty though to France as the Australians dive in over the top. Stay on your feet, says the referee. Tito La Maison. Wide on the right, as you can see. He's right-footed, but tends to hit the ball very straight. Over it goes! France have drawn first blood. Less than 2 minutes gone and they lead 3 points to 0.
What a start for France. People have been saying all week, can they repeat what they did last Sunday? Well, we'll find out, but it's a great start, that's for sure.
Matt Burke tries to put it into space. Quickly read though by Pelouse. Scrum down though to Australia.
Both sides wide open.
And if there's one area I'm a bit worried about, it's Emile Ntamak playing in the centre. He's a good tackler from wing or fullback. And Gregan gets very bad ball. Well scrummaged France. Penalty to the Australians though. And that was a stupid offside because they'd done the damage. They disrupted the flow. Bang on target. Evans. 4 minutes gone and it's 3-all.
Yes, perfect reply from Australia. Straight into the French half. Got the penalty. 3-all.
La Maison just checking his forwards are behind him. The perfect dropout, but well read by Eel, stood his ground and bumped off Benazi before getting the tap back. Larkin's kick charged down by La Maison, and away goes Herbert. Horan's outside him. Joe Roth. Bernard Sallow getting across, hauling him down. The speedster from Biarritz. Penalty to Australia, offside. And a little altercation there. Tensions running high. Let's hope good sense prevails. He needs to keep it quiet. Frank Tonnerre. Everybody just taking a step back, we hope.
Yes, it's tense out there. It's a World Cup final, lot to play for. Both teams well psyched up. France were unlucky there. They charged down the kick. Bounced badly for them. Australia put onside by the charge down. There it is. And of course then, they're breaking away. In the end, France did well to recover from this. Joe Roth looks like he's going to be in the corner. Good tackle from Bernard Sal. Maybe a bit high.
No, terrific tackle, I thought. Knocked his arm down and then got him round the chest. I mean, that's real class tackling, because Roth is a much, much bigger man than Bernard Sal.
Certainly is, John. Two captains having a chat now. The referee bringing them both together, trying to calm it down.
Well, little Dominici is piling in. That's interesting, because I was talking to the French camp yesterday and they said he was a right little firebrand when he was down at Toulon before he moved to Paris. And that was the problem with him. He's only 5'8", barely 5'8", and yet he was always trying to get involved in the tough stuff. So the end result, Matt Burke has a chance to give Australia the lead. It's our camera on the other side of the pitch from the main coverage you're receiving. There's the face of concentration. Just wide. Difficult kick. Pushed it past the right-hand post. Gabayosa, and Galtier decides that let's slow things down and just gather our wits, calm down a shade. Towering kick from La Maison, Kefu underneath it. Joe Roth didn't want man and ball, did well, knocked it on. Herbert knocked down to Bernard Sal, but there was a knock-on over there, and they'll come all the way back to the 10-metre line, and the first knock-on was an Australian one, so it'll be a scrum to France.
Yes, Andre wasn't a choice in the end. He had a forward pass and the knock-on.
Well, the 17-11 to 17-1 in Australia's favour in the tight five. That's a steadier one. They've got that little shift to the blind. Galtier. And Roth gathers it in. He's done it well. That's on the Australian side. Larkham seems to have recovered completely from that knee injury. Gabayosa juggles, but comes up with it. Slips on that skiddy surface. But France have control. Oh, and Untermatt can't hold La Maison's pass. Dangerous, but they've recovered it, so it will be a scrum to Australia for the knock-on.
And that was a yellow card for John Eales, spotted by the touch judge.
Well, I can't tell you what that was for, I'm afraid. And the information coming to me is that he was spotted throwing a punch, and it was called by the touch judge, definitely, not by the referee.
I've got to say, that's very unlike John Eales, isn't it?
It is indeed. Mr. Nice Guy. Well, La Maison fancies his chances from almost 50 metres. With the angle, that has got to be very nearly on it. Difficult kick. 11 minutes gone. Oh, he's drilled it. Over it goes, a sensational kick. Beautifully struck by La Maison. Knew he really had to get the ball moving forward. It was low and hard, but it cleared the bar quite comfortably.
Oh, it was a super kick. Wrong side of the field for a right footer. He hardly has any run up, but I'll tell you what, he hits it.
6-3, France lead, 12 minutes gone. And John Eales costing his side 3 points. The chip to Wilson, he couldn't quite gather it in, a knock on by France. But Australia have it, so they play advantage. Larkham. Back it comes again to Gregan. Kefu bumps off Mania. Horan, again that lovely little shift of foot. Suddenly he's got the forwards in front. Eales by himself into the 22. Gregan being hauled in. It's going to be a penalty to Australia at very least. Set up by Tune, driven on by Kefu. Gregan, he wanted quick ball, he couldn't get it. And it's a penalty to Australia. And again, the French are going to be warned, I'm absolutely sure. He's talking about professional fouls, I think.
Yes, he's right to do so. Australia dying for quick ball there. France killed it. Here's the break. How good is Timmy Horan? What a World Cup he's had. Electric break. Plenty of support inside. John Hill's making amends from that earlier penalty. Here's where Australia want quick ball. Of course, France denying them it. There, they're killing it. You can see it, John. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really bad luck for Australia, and the referee has got to do something about that, because if they could have had quick ball there, I think there was very definitely a try on.
Certainly was. Stacking up on the left, the Australians dying for quick ball, didn't get it.
Well, a very simple chance for Matt Burke. He seldom, if ever, misses these. Doesn't miss this time. Levels things up again. 6-all. Coming up to 15 minutes gone.
Well, it may be a World Cup final, but we've had a cracking opening. Both teams trying to play rugby, trying to run the ball.
Yeah, we've only had one try in the last two World Cup finals. It doesn't look like being that way today. Lamezon with the restart again. Gippin underneath it. That was well done by the French. They came through from the back. And a penalty to France. And that time it was Matt Cobain who was penalised for trying to get the ball back into the ruck. See there, coming through from the back, that was Pelouse, and it was perfectly legal.
Yes, it's coming through the middle of the maul, that's allowed.
And France showing again their attacking intentions. Instead of going for goal, they found touch 5 metres from the Australian line. From the penalty, they get the throw in. So here's an attacking platform for France.
It's a Welsh crowd, very knowledgeable. They know their rugby. They appreciate what France are trying to do.
Mania, in go the big forwards to drive. Back it comes. Galtier, Untermack, Dort, Untermack again. Bernard Sell jinking through. Forced to set it up, but it's a good setup. Now they've got men out wide. Lamezon chips to the corner. Can Mania get to it? Knocks it back. Benazi, but it was knocked forward. Almost so near, but so far. What a try that would have been for Benazi. Mania just tapping the ball infield cleverly, but just knocking it forward.
Once again, lovely kick. Now, does he knock it forward or does he knock it back? Oh, it is forward. Good call from Mr. Watson.
Kefu just protecting the ball. Bert's kick was touched. Not according to the touch judge, though. Ed Morrison.
That was the tap forward. Crucial call, wasn't it? Big call from Mr. Watson. Got it right.
One of those, if you wanted to be an absolute stickler, you could say he tapped it back onto his shoulder and then it went forward, but no referee would dare do that. French have it. They've got control. Can they spin off and drive? Now they're trying. But good counter from the Australians. They've driven it hard and they've got the scrum.
Well, it was good defence by Australia. France trying to drive through the middle.
The unsung heroes there, these Australian front row forwards, have done so well in this tournament. Richard Harry and Michael Foley, the loose head prop and the hooker there, were at the heart of that counter drive. Penalty Australia, and the man penalised, Frank Tuner.
You're right about the Australian front row, John. Unsung heroes, aren't they? Everybody keeps telling me this Australian pack isn't that good. Well, you don't get to a World Cup final with a weak pack, that's for sure.
Nope, they've a lot of them not had regular places even in the side. Michael Foley was behind Kearns. He was third in the pecking order at the beginning of the season. He's overtaken Jeremy Paul, and Kearns is out injured. Richard Harry really only got back late in the season. And you could say that Patricio Noriega, the Argentinian who became a naturalised Australian, was the #1 choice on the tight head. Horan, so strong again. I mean, didn't try and get past him that time, just bumped his man off. Kepu rocked backwards. Good tackle that from Mania, but they went over the top. And Mania went in, made the tackle, and I think has cut himself as he did it.
Yes, it was a great tackle, wasn't it? Double hit. Mania in the end got injured for his there. See the French going in over the top.
The two wing forwards, flankers working in tandem. He went in high, and Marc Lièvremont went in low, but off as is now required. So there's a blood replacement. The French caught napping. They're hurriedly trying to get a man on. The referee actually stopping things to allow them to do so. The man who come on will definitely be Arnaud Coste. There he is. The man from Montferrand. Eels. Offloaded it beautifully. Didn't take it that cleanly, but still managed to get it away. Larkham back inside a Horan. And again, he makes that vital 5 or 10 metres. Sets it up. Quick ball. Larkham. Kefu. Good tackling by the French again, and they have been so effective. They've effectively got a turnover because they will have the put in at the scrum. And Michael Foley getting a warning, and the referee saying to both captains that he wants more discipline from both teams, that everyone here wants to see rugby, and Michael Foley is penalised for putting a foot on the player after the whistle had gone. Again, the touch judge stepping in to tell the referee.
Yes, Andre Watson very clear there. He said, great occasion. Everybody's here to watch a game of rugby, not watch people stamp on each other.
Michael Foley, first choice 96 and 97 when Kearns was injured, and back here now in a World Cup final. Oh, off the top. For a moment I thought John Eales was actually going to get it, but the French have come up with it. No knock on. Galtier is caught by Kefu. Driven through by the French forwards. Back it goes to La Maison. High hoisted. And I think that's going to be the French forwards all offside in front of the kicker. They're offered the choice of the kick where the ball landed or the scrum from where it was kicked.
Yes, clearly offside, John. They've got to retreat once the ball goes in the air.
Matt Burke takes play just inside the French 10-metre line. Olivier Magnan, now that really is a strange dressing.
Looks as though they've stuck his nose back on, doesn't it?
The man with the mask. Eales. Larkham, Kefu being used as the ball carrier. And Australia get the penalty. Liebremont penalised for trying to wrestle the ball over. The tackler, as well as the man tackle, must be on their feet again before they can do anything after the tackle.
You can't believe they're still doing it, can you? They must have talked about it in the week. Every time there's a breakdown, there's a French hand on it. There you can see it, so clear. Mr. Watson, he won't miss that. And Matthew Burke, I think, will make them pay.
No problems with the distance. No problems with direction either. Straight through the middle. And Australia are in the lead.
Happy Australians. French indiscipline, it's costing them dear.
9-6 Australia lead. They've got their noses in front. We thought it would be tight, even though we expect a fairly open game. See, the spread betting people have got 10 to 13 points, Steve. Do you go with that or not?
I assume that's to Australia?
Indeed.
No.
Larkham pushes it down to the 22. Garbiosa. His father, believe it or not, was a second row for Toulouse. Played with the great Jean-Pierre Rive and the French coach Jean-Claude Strelin. The Australians have it, but it was a hand that did it. Well spotted, Andre Watson. It came back very cleanly, and I think Wilson might have thought he got away with that, but not so.
It's like all good flankers born offside. You should know, John.
But we didn't have to worry about touch judges in those days. Now it's almost impossible. Remember, the touch judges have got microphones in the handles of their touch flags, so they've got constant communication with the referee.
Yes, there's Mannion with the ball. You can see it quite clearly. Handling on the ground, not allowed.
Off the top by Palouse. Do it! Well, nearly got through the Aussie back line, and that hasn't been done. They've conceded just one try in the tournament, remember. And that's a phenomenal record. Equal to the task again. Touch just about on the Australian 10-metre line.
Australia very aware that La Maison last Sunday kicked through found a lot of space behind the All Blacks. He's not finding it here. Matthew Burt doing a good sweeping job.
To miss out La Maison and go straight for Duart. Little knock on and a scrum down to Australia. It's gone a little scrappy at the moment.
Yes, both teams trying to play rugby. It's a tense occasion. It is a World Cup final, and it has gone a little bit scrappy.
Well, that's it. A very even game as we thought. Horan. La Maison got to both of them. Herbert sets it back. Gregan sizing up his options. Larkham, no option at all. Back it comes again. Gregan gets it to Horan. He decides to kick this time. And even that, a beauty into the area close to the touchline, which is going to make Dominice's job more difficult. But what an elusive little fellow he is. Tough too, he set it up well. Benazzi. La Maison and Kefu all the way back. Now he's got a chance to get up ahead of steam. Decides instead to kick it, to pass it, and Burke kicks it. Well taken, Matt Burke. That was Benazzi he beat to the ball. Quick ball fed. Then Tune into the line. Again, good ball. They get it wide. Herbert, Joe Roth. Can he get the pass outside again? He can. Herbert. Good momentum by the Australians. Oh, and the interception, but they're still going. That's Burke playing advantage. There was a knock-on by Benazir. And a penalty. That was Cedric Soulette coming in from the side and going straight over the top. Matt Burke, now the nose-capped Australian fullback, missed nearly a year for a bad shoulder injury after scoring the winning try in the Bledisloe Cup game against New Zealand in 1998. Dragged it past the left post. France get away with it.
Well, I said Matt Burke would make them pay. He normally does. Not this time.
I think it's quite difficult for the kickers out there. I think that surface is a little bit greasy. And he looked then as if he wasn't really sure of the placement of the left foot, which is so important. La Maison. Gregan underneath it. Larkham to Toon. Pounced a couple off, but they got him. Again, good little inside pass from Larkham. Now the setup. Hoisted back to the right by Larkham. Set move. Beautiful touch inside from Horan. So aware. Now they've got some ball. Horan looking for the way through. Gets Toon. Juillet and holding on by the Australians. Once he was on the floor.
France relieved. Silly penalty by Australia. They looked as though they were opening up the French defence. It's against Foley.
And a little warning there about fingers in the eyes. Just pointing out that there are marks around the eyes of Michael Foley, and he doesn't want any more of it. There was some bad feeling in the week. The New Zealanders were unable to prove it, but they did sort of insinuate that there had been some eye gouging. Away goes Toon down the left. Gregan, Gippin, sidestep from the second row. Larkham. Good momentum from the Australians. Have they gone too far? Yes, they have. France come up with it. Dominici. La Maison can't get his kick away. Toon comes up with the ball. And a little knock forward spotted by the referee, so France will have a scrum.
As the game's opening up, Australia looking threatening. Unfortunately, a bit scrappy from both sides. If they can hold the passes, there's going to be some tries scored in this game.
Yeah, the only try in 1991 came from Tony Daly, a prop. And there was no try at all in the 1995 final. Well, Olivier Magne was on his feet there, but not interfering. And France had the ball, so not penalised. Burke, chip and go from him. He wasn't taken out. Back inside from Galtier, picked up well by Ntamack. The big man sets it up beautifully. Galtier looking left but going right. Tournaire out there in the centre. Swamped by Australians, he's going to have to release it. And France lucky there, I think, to get away with the scrum.
There's the one guy you didn't want in the centre then, was your tight head prop forward. Tournaire slowed it all down. There he is, playing outside centre, hasn't quite got the outside break we look for.
Fabien Galtier feeds the scrum. He watched the first match, he admitted, while he was having a beer. Through goes Gabagiosa. Toon. Can he get away? No, he can't. Dominici in there wrestling for the ball. Gregan. chips it through. Nobody else can get through on La Maison though. La Maison gets away from Horan, and Ibanez comes up in the right place at the right time to take the pass. Galtier, Benazzi on the charge. La Maison, the chip, and Bernat Sal roaring down on this one. Across comes Larkham. In the end, has to dive in. Touch and go for the Australians.
He just got there, didn't he? We saw last week how quick Bernard Sal is when he ran down Wilson. He was chasing after that one. In the end, Larkham only just got over. First time La Maison sees a gap in the back of the Australian defence. Larkham's coming across. Look at that, it's a foot race and it's touch and go. Larkham just gets there.
36 minutes gone. France have the throw-in. Olivier Magne, wide it comes to Dourt. Big drive from the forwards. They're only a metre short. Now France need to use it, and they have given away the scrum. They couldn't get the ball down. Good defence again by the Australians. They held the man up and stopped them all. Once they've stopped the forward momentum of them all, they were always going to get the scrum if France couldn't get the ball back.
Yes, France going for the big forward drive, almost worked. Dourt did the hard bit, kept the ball up.
And the man who took that ball in, Richard Dourt, is the one down, and that must be of great concern to the French, because he has missed a lot of rugby, dislocated both shoulders in 1996 and 97, but he's okay. Relief in the French camp. Penalty to Australia. Giving away the scrum was bad enough. Giving away the penalty was criminal.
Certainly was. Crowd don't like it, but Mr. Watson's right. Scrum went down on this side.
Little Ibanez. The captain, only 15 stone 1. That's a tiddler in the front fives these days. Originally came from Seville. His father fled the Spanish Civil War and went to France. Eels at the back. Gregan back inside. That lovely pass to Cobain. Gregan in there digging for the ball. Well pushed deep. Not a very good kick at all from Larkham. Gabriosa looks for touch, and he's going to find it.
Poor kick from Larkham. Good kick from Garbajosa. Made Australia pay.
Really, a wing can't get in at fullback, although that's where he'd love to play at his home club Toulouse, because of Stéphane Hugier.
He almost got injured last week, sidestepping out the way of Jonah Lomu, didn't he?
Open!
Australians in control at the back, as you can see. Going forward so they can keep it there if they want. Now trying to power off the side. Ball to floor, back it comes to Gregan. Larkham just chips into the space. Well read by Ntamack. Galtier, men outside, beautifully done. Tournaire to Dominici, he's got Bernat Sal outside him. Goes himself. And Garbage-Josa shepherded into touch.
Great play by France, showing how dangerous they are outside, how quick they are. Look at this. Galtier set it up. Tornar's there again. Dominici comes off his wing. There's now overlaps. Good Australian defence in the end, came across. Dangerous play from France.
And we're into injury time. There'll be 3 or 4 minutes of that. Foley, Giffen. Larkham. Off the outside of the boot, straight to Garbage-Josa. Another chance to counter-attack. Oh, well, it was meant to be a drop goal, I can assure you. Instead, Matt Burke, able to push it deep. Is it going to sit there? No, it goes all the way. It'll be a 22 dropout. Dominici touches down.
Poor kicking both sides. We assume that was a drop goal attempt, John, not a grubber. And then Matthew Burke, he didn't punish France either. He kicked it too long.
Yeah, I don't think he was looking for positions behind the Australian defence. That was a look at the posts. I thought if Stephen Larkham can drop his first one as he did in the semi-finals last week, I can have a go too. La Maison. Kefu underneath it. Spins off. Knocks Pellouse away, but the big man recovers to take him down. Giffen. Goes past Magne. Lovely quick ball. Now can they use this? Tune can't get the pass away. Magne getting in there. Penalty signalled. And Gibbon now waiting for the advantage. And again, I think the French are going to be lectured about the professional foul, stopping quick ball coming back.
Yes, I'm quite right too. Mr. Watson quite clear, pointing out to the French, if you keep doing it, I'm going to yellow card somebody.
We played 3.5 minutes of injury time. Struck it well, no doubts at all, right through the middle. Australia 12, France 6.
France didn't want that. Right on half-time. Gave away another penalty, this time punished by Burke. Handy lead now for Australia.
But remember last week, France at one stage down 24-10 and then scored all those points in the second half. Burke wriggles free, not quite. Giffen gets through a lot of work. Horan, now they've got few men, chip and go, it's a good one. And Tamac can't pick it up. The Australians come up with it. Beautifully recycled, chip through for Tune. Garbage-Josa knocks on. Unfortunately for the Australians, they can't make anything of it because time has run out in the first half. But they go in, and they're surely content with a 12-6 lead. Well, once again, they've got to come from behind if they're going to do it. Matt Burke kicks off. Magne underneath it. Hit hard by Cobain. Back it comes to La Maison. Kefu's the man back there. His father played for Tonga and boxed for Tonga. Pellouse, beautifully taken, and off he goes. Laid back well. Galtier, Magne, into Grigan. Laid it off well to Lièvremont. Oh, and the forwards got in the way, and Galtier had nowhere to go. Picked up by Benazzi, and the momentum restored. In Pellouse, see how much he's been in it already. La Maison, and that's a poor kick. He meant that to go down to the right touchline, but there's clinging on at the bottom of the ruck there, so a penalty to the French just inside the Australian half. La Maison. 6 points. Takes him to 260. That makes him the 5th top scorer. He might well overtake Romer. Big hit, but he's wide. Just got under it a shade. So his total stays on 260 for France, and the score remains Australia 12, France 6. Straight down the middle from Matt Burke. La Maison hoists and chases. Kefu, beautifully taken. He never took his eye off the ball. Larkham charged down by Mania, but they were all offside. The crowd are roaring, but Enter and Dort will have to come back.
Yes, Mr. Watson saw it early, blew early. Great take from Cafu. He's, for me, been one of the players of this World Cup. He makes the hard yards. That's the offside. See all the French charge down, but to no avail. They've got to come back. There's Mr. Watson signalling.
Burke makes no mistake with the penalty kick. Takes play to just outside the French 22. And Australia will have the line out as well. Tutai Kefu, they were saying his father boxed and played rugby for Tonga. He's the only one of the children to be born actually in Tonga, but went to Australia when he was 2. Through the middle goes Kefu. Gregan quickly back to the left. Horan again, just that lovely quick step to take him past the defender. Larkham! Stephen Larkham swamped, but only 2 meters short. Back it comes, Gregan again. Herbert. An offside, and I'm sure Australia will take the points. 5 minutes gone in the second half. Through the kick goes, and Australia perhaps just taking a little bit of control on this game. 15-6 they lead. And Burke's total goes to 499.
Yes, and that's a handy lead. France now need to score twice.
Dan Herbert had lengthy treatment while that kick was being taken. He's still hobbling. He's tried to run back, but he's back down on one knee in midfield. There he is. That's Dan Herbert, and he looks to me to be in real trouble. I think his game might be over.
Yeah, he's out of it, John. Luckily for Australia, they've got Nathan Gray to come on, who's very similar to Herbert, similar build, similar type of player.
And in fact, they brought Jason Little on, who's got enormous experience in the centre. I expected them to bring on Nathan Gray, I must say, Steve, but they've gone for the experience of Jason Little. He's played recently much more on the wing, but had that fantastic centre partnership with Horan. Frank Tonnerre, the Wallaby defenders though very eager. La Maison gets it wide to do it, pops it up for Intermac, but very well read by Little. Rucked hard by the French. They still come back with it. Back to La Maison. Let's fly, but he's wide.
Little it was who made the big hit. We talk about Nathan Gray, we forget about Jason Little. Not a bad replacement to have on the bench.
Winning his 68th cap. He's 4th in the top try scorer list for Australia with 20. Captain beside against the USA in this World Cup. comes Peter de Villiers for Cedric Soulette. That's a normal sort of substitution for the French. Charged down by Doort. Regan caught. But look how quickly the Australian forwards got in behind their scrum half and secured the ball. No touch. La Maison to Garbajosa. Pelus. Galtier flicks it, a tiny bit of room here. Bernard Sal pushed into touch by Joe Rock.
Yeah, should have gone in field, the little winger. A lot of pace, we know that. Dancing up the touchline, too close to it in the end.
And Richard Doort got a bash on the nose by the looks of it. It might have even been that he charged the kick down with his nose rather than his hands. Andre Watson insisting on a gap. Coming up to 10 minutes. Benazzi got to it. Entamac through the middle, tries to set it up. And they've got it. Back it comes to the right. Benazzi. Foley's the man who tackles him. And that ball coming back the Australian side. I think the first time it was legal, it just bounced off a foot, but then perhaps a hand went in. Christophe Titu La Maison looking for his third penalty. Looks good, it is. And France back within striking range.
Yes, it's tit for tat at the moment, going one way then the other. France just hanging on. That was an important kick from La Maison.
Well, nearly 12 minutes on the clock, but we've already had considerable injury time, so I think this is going to be a long old second half. Pierre Villepreux looking anxious. And La Maison really delayed that, and Joe Roth almost got to it.
Joe Roth came from nowhere, didn't he? La Maison couldn't believe it.
Substitution, a replacement coming on for Australia. That's Big Owen Finnegan, and the man going off is Matt Cobain. Finnegan has made a big impact when he's come on in the second half in most of the games. Gippin. Regan to Larkham, just gets the pass away. Kefu just holds on too. But that's a good setup, quick ball. Bit of space here on the right, through the middle goes Rob. Back inside beautifully to Burke. Set up again. Well, that just went behind Little. Now the set up, the ball's here. They come left. Larkham, that's what he's so good at doing, just running hard at the middle. Finnegan straight into it, lays it back. Driven again by Kefu. Lying on the wrong side, it was Ibanez, but the referee's playing advantage. Finnegan sets it again. Oh, beautifully through the middle. Roth through the middle. Is he there? No, he's just an inch short. What a wonderful move from the Australians. But Roth hauled down just inches short and lost the ball forwards.
Oh, it was great play by the Aussie backs. Look at Stephen Larkham behind the back pass. Roth just dropped it on the line. I think if he'd have kept hold of it, he'd have scored.
Woo, the sort of thing that wins and sometimes loses World Cups. Better scrum from France this time. Mania almost wasn't there. A new from the crowd, because he saw that very late and caught it very late. And Australia have it, chipped through by Horan. Oh, and well done Bernard Sal. But a penalty still to Australia. And it was clinging on at the bottom. Mania, once he went through, was tackled, held onto the ball, and the referee from that moment was playing advantage.
Yeah, France committing suicide there. That was the chip from Horan. He almost put Roth in. Referee coming back to the infringement. Bernard Sal did well. There it is, dropping Manier straight in it. Just what he wants with a nose like that. Holding onto the ball.
Well, you won't see it clearer. You feel the lawmakers who will meet after this World Cup to discuss any changes in the law have got to address this business of round the tackle area where teams are preventing quick ball. Burke with the kick. There was no way he was going to miss that.
Penalty Australia, 15, Matt Burke.
So Australia widen that gap to 9 points again, 18-9.
Yes, back to 9. I just get the impression Australia in danger of cutting loose here.
Stephen Larkham. Horrible kick. His kicking has not been great. The rest of his game, though, has been superb.
No, he's not a kicker, John, is he? Even though he's kicked a third of it away, he's a runner and a handler.
Says a lot about Australian rugby, really, because even though he's not much of a kicker, he won his first 12 caps as a fullback. Started actually as a junior grade scrum half and was spotted and turned into a fullback from there. Now, Dominici, the man who set France alight last week, can he do it again? Back it comes, a bit of space out here on the right. Through goes Intermac, but hauled down by Kefu. This will be a penalty to France unless they get advantage. Garbajosa, Mania, back inside to Benazi, couldn't hold on, and Mr. Watson will bring them all the way back for an offside.
Yes, he's saying two things, going over the ball and offside. Mr. Watson saying quite clearly, stay on your feet. Here's Intermac. Just hasn't fired in this World Cup, has he?
Significant, the man who got him was number 8.
Yes, it wouldn't have happened a couple of years ago, would it, when he was really at his best and he was very, very quick, elusive winger. But now put him in the centre and it hasn't really come off.
We're just into the last quarter of this 1999 Rugby World Cup final. And I get the feeling that Andre Watson is pretty frustrated by all this. He feels there's a good game of rugby here waiting to get out. Lam is on again. Over it goes. France back in touch, and La Maison moves into 4th place above Romer in the all-time scoring list for France.
This one once again, very important kick, keeps them back in it.
Burke goes long. La Maison runs this time. 2 good steps, takes him past 2 of the defenders. Ibanez. Lovely quick ball. Mania can't hold on to it though. Roth, chip and go. And again, Andre Watson allowing the attempted advantage before calling them back for the scrum for the knock-on.
Story of the match so far, wasn't it? France trying to break out. Lovely couple of starts from La Maison. In the end, knocking on, giving Australia good possession.
Kefu. Well tackled by Lièvremont. Oh, and Gregan smacked down by Lamezon, holds on, he wasn't held. Ball's okay, no knock forward there. The referee Finnegan. Oh, and that was a poor old kick from Joe Roth. Australia have it. Little, Gregan. And out goes the flag of English touch judge Ed Morrison.
Yes, Mr. Morrison's certainly seen something.
I think it was the tackle on Gregan. And that was a fly half. That was Lamezon.
Yes, it was high and very dangerous. Well spotted, Mr. Morrison.
The French predictably saying it was an accident.
Yes, he left the ironing board out there, didn't he? Poor old Georgie Gregan, he caught one.
Well, 18-12, and again, the boo's going up from the crowd. But you can't blame Australia, they're controlling this game really now. They've always had that 6-point cushion during this half. And Matt Burke now through the 500 mark. Exactly 40 meters. Plenty of distance, no problem at all, over it goes, and Christophe Lamezon has cost his side another 3 points with that silly tackle, and there's the World Cup almost within Australia's grasp. 21-12 they lead as Matt Burke puts them further ahead. Little comes up with the ball from the kickoff, they drive it into the French half. Good ball. Back it comes, Larkham feeding Foley. Larkham wide to Horan. Benazir gets hold of him, or does he? No, he doesn't. That's Finnegan. Back inside to Horan again. Good continuity now from the Australians, almost clear Matt Burke. Driving on now, this is really dangerous. Oh, and Gregan looking the wrong way, then going himself. Horan. Finnegan, try in the corner. I think it's Ben Tune who got over. And the Australians know that that's what could be the decisive moment. Ben Tune it is, the right wing. Third in the tries list already for Australia, his 22nd, and there'll never be a more important one.
Oh, and it was good play from Australia. Fantastic build-up. Hauling it twice. Ben Tune, he's strong as well as quick. You can see it there. He gets it over. No doubt about it. Georgie Gregan, he makes the break. Timmy Horan in the move twice. Ben Tune, he doesn't miss from there. He's a terrific try scorer. And he will never score a more important try, that's for sure.
That's the real breakthrough for Australia. 26-12. It suddenly looks as if the French have got to climb Mont Blanc.
Certainly have, John. You get the impression that is the killer blow.
And extra pain, Gabajosa, and that looks very much like a broken wrist as he tried to stop Ventune. There's our camera on the other side of the field to our normal coverage. Look at that! Right through the post, a great kick from Matt Burke. Suddenly, it's all open up. Australia 28, France 12.
Well, the game needed a try, and we got one. It was always going to come from Australia. Back's looking so sharp. Gregan went the wrong way at first, recovered. Horan had a big part to play in it, and it's Tune that finishes it.
See Ed Morrison, the touch judge, nodding his head vigorously. That was definitely down, he says. Arnaud Costa's come on for Marc Lièvremont. Well, the ball was out. It looked as if the Australians were offside, but they weren't. Hoofed forward there by Hugo Mola, who is on for Garbajosa. That was a real forwards pass, that was. There's Hugo Mola. Winning his 12th cap.
France, number 16, Hugo Mola.
Oh, and France come away with it. They were lucky it wasn't the man they meant to find. Galtier back inside. La Maison gets it wide to Dominici. Penalty France. Quickly taken by Galtier. Pelouse was past one. Set it up well. Now they need quick ball. Penalty again to France if they get no advantage. Back it comes. La Maison. Benazi at full flow. France getting it going forward, but they've now just about lost the momentum. It's all reformed. Ibanez. And penalty that time for the Australians, killing it and holding on.
I don't think they'll go for goal, John. I think they'll push it in the corner. They need a try.
Absolutely, that's a huge gap.
Here's the penalty. See the Australian legs on the wrong side of the ruck and maul. John Eales, it is again.
So France, just as you predicted, Steve, desperately needing a try to get back into this game. 31 gone, Australia hot favourites. Oh, and that was a dreadful mistake, missing their man at the line out. So now they've got to come from deep on the counter-attack. Mola, Manya. He's had no chance to show off his pace. And Tavac cuts inside Gregan. Scrum down, French ball, all legal. It was just pinned in there at the bottom of the ruck. So the man who's come on is Mark Connors. Mark Connors. Dominici pumps a man off. Penalty Australia. They're using the feet, and the French, you get the feeling, are just about losing it. That was Cost going in with his feet illegally.
Dominici trying to break through. France going in with the feet. There you can see it. Spotted by Mr. Watson. He's having none of it.
Dominici, remarkable little character. 5'8", barely, 12 stone 10, and runs straight at the forwards and bumps them off. John Eales, clean take, Gregan, Larkham. That should be a quick ball. Yeah, it was a little kick forward. They were a bit unlucky. Just rolled back a bit too quickly to control.
Now, big scrum for France. They need to score from here. They've got plenty of blindside, plenty of width on both wings. Can they move it wide?
Pelouse from 8 gets it wide this time to Mola. Chip through for Bernat Sal. He can't do anything more than just chip it into touch.
Well, they did move it wide, but you've got to say once again, Aussie defence is fantastic. Streaming over the yellow shirts.
28-12. 16 points means they've got to score at least 3 times. Owen Finnegan. Back it goes though this time to Mark Connors. Little hauled down in the midfield. France trying to turn the ball over, they don't succeed. Larkham gets it away to 2. Can he get outside Dominici? No. Gregan, well set up again though. Horan, Little. Flicked, double flick to Horan. Chip and go from Horan. Regathers, a good little touch from Horan again. They're really trying to find those gaps now.
Timmy Horan, another big game from him. What a World Cup he's had. Star of this Australian team for me.
Even in a tight game like this, where there's not been too much, he's always probing, always finding that little gap. There's Stefan Castaner, who's come on for Galtier. Well, France lost to Australia in the 1987 semi-final. That was a real classic. This hasn't been, but it looks as if we're going to see the same result. The man in trouble there, Andrew Blades. There's Rob McQueen. They call him the dog catcher at home. He says it's because his grandfather was the man responsible for driving the last wolf out of Scotland or some such story. But even he says it as if he doesn't believe it. Tenier. Lamizon, the big wide pass, but it goes to nobody. It's broken okay though for France. Burke knocks on. Last chance saloon for the French. It's probably too late already, but if they could score from this good attacking scrum position, they might just be in with a hope.
There's Matthew Burke making his first mistake. Will the French punish him? There you can see the handling errors. Australia only 7 in the whole game. Once again, you can see Australia wheeling France the way they don't want to go. That shuts down the blind side. It moves. They can't move it to the right, or they can't with the number 8 anyway. Good scrummaging from Australia.
And they won't mind running the clock down. 39 minutes gone. Castanet caught, feeds Pelouse. Penalty penalty to the French. It will be quickly taken. Castanet, oh, he's gone the wrong way. He's isolated himself and lost everybody. Not good thinking from the scrum half. And of course the Australians have the luxury of being able to clear to touch. And Marc Dalmazo, not the end of the game that Ibanez would have seen. He wanted to be on the field at the end and marching up to get his hands on that William Webb Ellis trophy. Instead, with a few minutes to go, he's substituted, and on comes Marc Dalmazo.
I think that cup's going down to Australia. They've got a wonderful saying down there, saying bring Bill back home, Bill being the William Webb Ellis trophy. And I think they're taking it home, John.
Mania off the top to Castanet. La Maison to Entermac. Mola into the gap, but hauled down by little. They've been equal to everything, the Australians. Into touch on the far side. And as all these teams in this tournament, nobody's really been able to make an impression when they try to attack that Australian backline.
Yeah, they've tried every which what way, haven't they? Down the middle, gone wide to the flanks. No gaps in that Australian defence.
Eels back to Gregan. Larkham, Horan still trying to run it. Gregan, Larkham this time sides to kick. Dominici. Mola, and then gets back to support him, but the pass doesn't come. On goes the drive from Dalmazo. La Maison wide to Entermac. Bennett's out. Can't get inside Horan. Great tackle again by the centre. And the Australians have turned over the French. Foot in touch from Joe Roff. We're into injury time. 2 minutes gone.
Timmy Horan showing as well as being a great attacker. He's an all-round footballer, solid in defence. Bernat Sal one-on-one will beat most people. He couldn't beat him.
Rod McQueen. What a moment for him, as he must now know that his team have done the business for him. Well, there's been a lot of injury in this second half, so we've probably still got quite a bit to go. Good drive there from the French. Bernat Sal gets past Finnegan, but as always there's someone else lining up to take him. Bursting clear, he held on, no knock on. Wide. Entermac has got to get the pass inside, but Benazir just knocked forward a tiny bit. It's enough. Scrum down to the Australians. Congratulations from Matt Burke to Michael Foley. Everybody in there determined not to let the French through.
Yes, you've got to do something special to cross that Australian line. There's Entermac trying to go round the outside. Massive Australian cover, fly half, hooker, they're all over there.
And again, some little bit of skullduggery, I think, on the French side. The referee saying this is serious.
Referee and touch judge talking. They suspect a bit of eye gouging, that's what they're saying, but they can't prove it.
And that was called by Paddy O'Brien, the touch judge. And the French have lost field position completely. It was a scrum, it's now a penalty.
Pity, France just losing it towards the end.
They haven't quite been able to reproduce that magic of last week. It was a huge ask of them. An Australian substitution. We've got to wait because it's the man who's going to throw the ball in, Jeremy Paul, the hooker. He replaces Michael Foley. John Eales comes up with it at the second attempt. Lovely inside pass. Gregan to Finnegan. Go for the line, man. And he gets there. For a moment I thought he was not going to go for it. Incredible. It all opened up for him and he was still looking for support.
I think he heard you, John. It was a lovely move. Eales with the catch. Look at the inside pass from Gregan. Oh, and he's got to go for the line. It's opening up for him. He doesn't want to know it. No, but he gets there in the end. Good try.
Owen Finnegan, they've used him in this World Cup, and in fact, for most of the matches, as a replacement. He's come on as a replacement in every test, all 11 in 1998, and then he's come on in these, and that his 6th try for his country, and I think probably the one that he'll remember above all the others. Well, this could be. Let's see, the last kick of the match. Australia leading 33 points to 12. It now looks very, very convincing. Matt Bird puts over the kick. 35-12. That's not the end. Plenty of time to restart. Andre Watson has looked at his watch and decided there's time for more.
Well, it's not the end officially, but it is metaphorically. Look at Finnegan. He's got to go in the end. Strong man makes the ground, scores the try that he'll remember for the rest of his life.
We're into the 48th minute in the second half. Gregan chips through, into touch it goes.
And you've got to say, John, the best team in the World Cup have won the trophy. For me, the best all-round team.
Now the Australians ringing the last changes. George Gregan, a great smile on his face. He knows the job is done. On comes Chris Whittaker. Celebrations are starting on the touchline, if not on the field.
Yes, it's party time. Bill's going back to Oz, that's for sure.
Pelous wins the line out for France. But it's not to be for France. They are not going to be World Cup holders in soccer and rugby. Domenici wrapped up as he has been all afternoon. Through the middle and to Mack. Quick one from Castanet. Benazzi, but the pass goes into touch. And that is it. Andre Watson brings down the curtain on the 1999 Rugby World Cup. Australia the winners, 35-12. They become the first country to win the trophy twice. A second trophy for their captain John Eales as well. He was part of that side in 1991, along with Tim Horan, along with Jason Little. Absolutely wonderful moment for the Australians, and nobody, Steve, can take it away from them.
Certainly can't, John. Fantastic sporting nation, champions in rugby league, champions in cricket, and now champions in rugby union.
Matt Burke, who's been a huge contributor to that cause. David Wilson behind him with the bandage round his head. There he is. The veteran flanker has got what he most wanted, and the French come together. Ibanez, I'm sure, telling them that we've achieved a great deal in this World Cup. Nobody gave us a chance to get to the final. We got there. Come on, boys, solidarity, and let's go from here.
The world champions, Australia.
Up goes the cheers, and in splendid isolation, John Eales, who must have been wondering at one stage whether he was going to be fit to play in this World Cup. He had a bad shoulder injury, and he really didn't play any rugby before this World Cup this season. But there he is now, receiving the trophy from the Queen. Oh, 6'7" of him.